Welcome to the jungle, gardeners. All right, it's the summer solstice, very special, so I'm doing a video tonight. And we're gonna show you what's going on in the garden tonight. Mainly it's pineapple season, so that's the main topic of conversation. So here we've got one of our main pineapple areas in the garden. We've got hundreds of pineapple plants in the garden. This is one of our highest concentration. These plants are probably, I don't know, 8 years old at the oldest and younger from there. And they all these plants in this row produce every year. They don't ever get watered. They never get fertilized. They're just kind of on their own. Now, usually with pineapples, as soon as I see them start to lighten in color and pretty much ripen, I grab them and I can get them before the wildlife that way. But this year, we have a naughty little rodent of some kind. I don't know if it's the rats or the squirrels, chewing into the pineapples before they're even ripe. These two were not even close to ripe. They've already eaten holes in them. They already got two other fruits that were just starting to get ripe, so we cut out the bad spot and ate it. But these two that I'm gonna have to pick now, because they're half eaten, well, I don't know that they're ripe enough for us to eat once we cut out that bad spot. So not really sure what to do with these. Also, the mosquitoes are horrendous right now from that 15 inches of rain we got last week. Oh, my legs are covered in mosquitoes right now. It's awful. But let's see. This is one of the pineapples they ate into. It wasn't lightening up yet, wasn't ripe. Doesn't even smell ripe. It's underripe. It was a good size, a beautiful big size. Again, this is with no fertilizer and no watering, you guys. They just get rainwater and the fertilizer they get from birds and lizards and leaves falling into their tanks, into their leaf axils. That's the only way they get fertilized. And, you know, mulch and stuff on the ground. But we get so many pineapples in very good size without any effort whatsoever. But then this happens. And this hasn't happened before. We've had raccoons get the overripe pineapples that we forgot about. This is the first year we've had some kind of mammal, tiny mammal, eating our unripe pineapples. This is a first. So don't have advice on what to do here. We're just gonna see what happens. So what else is happening right now? Macadamia nuts are getting pretty big. They're ripening all over this tree. This tree is full of macadamia nuts. We've never had this many before. In the past, the squirrels have all gotten them by this point. And in the past, we've only had a couple dozen max. And the squirrels would eat them all right on our windowsill where we could see them eating our macadamia nuts. And they just leave a pile of the shells just on the ground under our window. It's kind of an FU to us. Pretty rude. But the neighbors have been feeding a feral cat colony. I'm not a big fan of feral cat colonies because they do harm the wildlife, and our squirrel population is minimal to non-existent now thanks to that feral cat colony. So great for the garden, not great for the ecosystem. Feeling conflicted about it because, I mean, great for my yard. Not great for my dogs who can't be off leash in their own fenced yard because they might go and eat a feral cat. Anyway, macadamia nuts doing great this year. Don't ask me how to harvest or prep them. I still got to figure this out because this is the first year we're going to be able to get a harvest because the squirrels didn't eat them all. Moving on to the avocado tree. Looking pretty good, pretty full of fruits. We've had this avocado tree maybe 8 years, and this is the third year it's fruited. And I mean, when it started fruiting, it really started fruiting. Anyway, go ahead and cough for me. I know. That's pretty, oh no! Well, one of those fruits just aborted, so that's too bad. Sorry, little buddy. Look, we've got a pineapple down there under the avocado. They're everywhere in this yard, I'm telling you. But these still have a few months to go. This is a Florida Hass avocado variety, and it has fruited really well for us the past 3 years. The fruits will start getting ready to ripen in September. They're especially getting ready in October and then some into November. Avocados will not ripen on the tree. We wait till they get about the ripening size and then pull them off the tree, let them sit in the house for 7 to 10 days, and then they'll be nice and soft and ready for guacamole or eating however you eat avocados. But this variety's been great for us again. Like all my other perennial plants, we don't water it, we don't fertilize it. It gets rainwater and it gets sometimes compost, mostly just leaf litter and mulch for nutrients. But that's the Hass avocado, the Florida Hass. We still have some kale plants growing in the garden. They're starting to slow down. Fungal diseases are starting. It's very rare that we have kale this late in the season in Florida that's exposed to the elements and not under shade. The only reason it's still going is because our rains haven't really started yet the way they should have. They should have started a month ago. Instead, we only got one rare week of rain, heavy rain so far. But once the regular rains do start, the fungal diseases will really take over the kale and kill it all. But it's nice to still have kale. Not nice that our weather is wonky. Climate change is not cool. But it is nice still having kale to eat this late in June. We have it every morning in a green smoothie. That's how we start our day, is a green smoothie with kale from our own garden, freshly harvested. So that's pretty awesome, I have to say. That's really awesome. Look, more pineapples. That one's probably about ready. Hopefully I can get it before the rodent. There's another one. These plants over here are younger. It'll be a few years for them maybe. There's a late bloomer pineapple, so that'll be a nice winter treat for us. And then bananas are the other big thing right now. We have 3 banana plants in the yard right now that currently have fruit in various stages. So one of them we're watching should ripen any day now. This one's going to be a little longer, although I don't like the looks of that right now. Looks like the ends are weird. It's our first time to see this one fruiting. What is going on there? That's weird. That's very weird. Anyway, this is the first time seeing this variety fruit in our garden. It's a few years old, but it got beaten down, snapped in half in its prime by Hurricane Ian, and this is its first time blooming since then. This is our strawberry or Jamaican cherry tree. It is loaded with fruit, and we love to see that. It tastes like cotton candy, the fruits. Really delicious, not overly sweet, just the right amount of sweet. And it's been loaded with fruits for a while, but the birds have been getting all the ripe ones, so we haven't gotten any. But that's okay, you know, the birds can eat too. We can go to the grocery store, so I'd prefer to just eat out of my garden as much as possible, but if I support the wildlife, I'm okay with that too. And I love the smell of the tree. You can make a tea out of the leaves, I think, but I just like the smell. Here's another one of the bananas, or maybe a plantain. This is the oldest bunch. They're getting huge. They should be ready soon. Well, they haven't smoothed out yet. The edges are still sharp, so it might still need a while, but watching it every day. Once I start to see one banana turn a little bit yellow, I'll cut the bunch off. Not sure what variety it is. We bought it from somebody on the side of the road and didn't ask. It was like $7, the plant. And it's got another bloom starting over there, so that's awesome. And another banana, a third variety up there. That's our ice cream banana. Delicious fruit. And I thought that was one of our dwarf Cavendishes that I put next to the house so it wouldn't shade our solar panels, but I was wrong. That's the ice cream banana, and it gets 15 feet tall, and it is most certainly shading our solar panels, so you know, we all have our regrets. I just noticed that's our first coconut on this particular coconut palm. I thought they had all aborted, but looks like we're gonna have one fruit from this palm. The other highlight of this time of the year is mango season. So here's one of our mangoes. This variety is called Florigon. This is about as big as the fruits will get. It should ripen soon. We already had one fruit from it this year. It's our first year really getting fruit from it because when we had a squirrel population, they would eat them far before they were ripe. So we didn't get to try much, but we had one fruit so far this year. The flesh is fiberless, or as my friend from Cuba called it, not hairy. It's not a hairy mango variety. No fibers in it. Smooth as butter cutting into. Mild flavor, pretty sweet, not overly sweet, and not overly flavorful. So if you don't like a lot of flavor, if you want a really mild flavored mango, this is it. It's known well for its disease tolerance. So it's tolerant or resistant to a lot of different diseases, especially anthracnose, which will take out the fruits. So that's good. Supposed to be a vigorous grower, but we haven't experienced that. It's older than our kite mango tree, but as I'll show you in a second, our kite mango tree is more than twice the size of this one, so hasn't been vigorous for us. Been very slow growing. It's also been hit by a couple freezes and hurricanes and flooding, but it survived. And look at all its pineapple friends around it. We love to plant pineapples around other fruit trees, and they can all share. When we do dump compost on them, it gets homegrown compost, it gets chop and drop, it gets pulled weeds thrown at the base of it. And so this area is gonna have, it's also a volunteer papaya growing here. Nobody invited you, but mangoes, pineapples, and we also have sweet potato at the base of this. But our pet tortoise grazes on most of the sweet potato. Well, this is exciting and unexpected. I just happened upon this. This little guy's about to bloom like crazy. This is our Grumachama tree, which is also called Brazilian cherry. It's in the genus Eugenia, which we have a native species of Eugenia called Simpson Stopper, which is also edible, but these ones taste almost identical to the northern, cherry. Very cherry-like, even though it's not a true cherry species, but delicious fruit, very sweet, wonderful. Can't wait to try them. And of course, more pineapple friends. All our fruit trees get pineapple friends. And last, but certainly not least for tonight, is the mango tree I was just telling you about, our kite mango, which is far younger than that other mango tree I just showed you, but it's much huger. They both get about the same amount of compost, and both of them are never watered. Actually, the other one sometimes is watered. When we're over there watering other things, we'll give it some water. This one never. It's too far away from our house and our hose, but it's huge. Despite only getting homegrown compost and mulch, it's loaded with fruits this year, which is super exciting. We didn't get to eat them last year again because of the squirrels. I tried to keep the squirrels off by covering the fruits in old socks, which did keep the squirrels off, but it also caused the fruits to rot. So my plan backfired, and nobody got to eat the fruits last year except the compost pile. Anyway, it's full of fruits. You can see them all here. And they're not yet ripe. This is a later fruiting variety, so these fruits are more in the fall when they'll be ripe. So that means we still have a couple of months of ripening. They're already bigger than my hand. They're known to have fruits up to 5 pounds, this variety. 5 pounds, you guys, for one mango. And they're already so huge, and they've got so much longer to go before they're ripe. So much more growth in these fruits. And in addition to being huge and late in the season, these also have some disease resistance. They're also supposed to be hair-free or fiberless, their flesh, nice and smooth and buttery and sweet. And we'll find out this year if we can get some, hopefully, fingers crossed. And again, all fruit trees get pineapple friends, so it's got some pineapple friends down here ripening, double trouble. It's also surrounded by cassava and pigeon pea friends, so all of our fruit trees get friends. Look at all those mangoes. No, we're not sharing, because in addition to homegrown kale in our fruit smoothies, we like to also put our own homegrown pineapple, banana, and mango. And when we aren't growing our own, of course, we go to the store like other normal humans. But anyway, excited for mangoes and bananas and pineapples and avocados right now in our garden. Oh, I do have one last thing to show you. Last thing for tonight is up here. This is our oldest coconut palm. It was a birthday present from my husband 9 years ago, and it's huge because it's planted by our septic. That was a mistake. Don't plant trees by your septic. That's stupid. But look at all those fruits. It didn't fruit the last 2 years because a bad freeze really set it back a couple years. So now it does have fruits, but they're 15 to 20 feet from the ground. I have no idea how we're going to get them down safely without knocking ourselves dead from falling coconuts. This is very dangerous for me to even be standing here right now, but really excited. We planted this so we can make homemade coconut milk instead of buying any kind of milk at the store. If we can have homemade coconut milk and macadamia nut milk, it's easier than having a cow in your yard, that's for sure. So again, another plant that's never watered, never fertilized, except by our septic. So anyway, pretty exciting. And that's it for tonight, gardeners. I gotta head in. My husband's gonna be mad at me for starting my workout late and getting to bed late and complaining about being tired tomorrow like I always do. But you know how we do. Anyway, enjoy our beautiful little woodland trail to our wildlife pond here, and enjoy our jungle. And if you have any tips, this is one time where I am asking for advice, y'all. Usually I'm not. But I will ask for any tips on getting those 15-foot high coconuts out of the palm without dying. We do have a pole saw, but again, how to do so without dying. Thanks for watching. Happy gardening, and anyone else who's down here, try not to get exsanguinated by the mosquitoes. I am covered right now and slapping them and smashing blood all over myself. See? Anyway. So stay safe out there, guys. Don't lose all your blood. And also don't die of heat stroke. Okay, bye.